Hi dear, today we'll see activity 6.5 and 6.6 in biology, okay, life processes, okay. The 6.5, why we have to do this experiment means to show that yeast ferment the carbohydrates and produce carbon dioxide, okay. So what you need for this experiment is fruit juice and lime water and yeast, okay. So first step, take some fruit juice or sugar solution in a test tube, okay. That means carbohydrate rich things, okay. So that we have taken sugar solution or it may be fruit juice, okay. Next step, add some yeast into the test tube, okay. Add some yeast into the test tube. Say the yeast is a unicellular organism, right? Then fix a one hole cork into the test tube. So we are going to close the test tube with a cork. It should contain only one hole, okay. That hole we are going to fit the cork with the bent glass tube. We are going to fix a glass tube, bent glass tube to that, okay. Dip the free end of one end of the bent glass tube will be inserted into the test tube, and the other end, dip the free end of the glass tube into the test tube containing freshly prepared lime water, okay. Freshly prepared lime water. So what is the process? So you are going to take a test tube. It should contain what? Sugar solution or fruit juice, anything, okay. And you are going to put some yeast here. You are going to put some yeast, okay, yeast, and you are going to close the test tube with the cork. It should contain only one hole, okay. In the hole we are going to insert a bent tube like this, okay. Bent tube, and one of the end is inside the test tube which contains the sugar solution plus yeast, and the other end contains other end is dipped into the test tube which contains lime water. Lime water, nothing but your calcium hydroxide, okay. So this is your setup. It has to be kept, and it has to be hold in the stand, okay. Like this you are going to keep, okay. So what happens, we have closed this test tube, right? So there is no oxygen, right? Oxygen, you know that yeast will ferment, yeast will respire anaerobically, right, without the presence of oxygen, right. That is, in the absence of oxygen it will respire, right. It will respire, that is, this yeast is going to break down the glucose material or carbohydrate, okay, into what, you are studied in the anaerobic respiration, right. What is happening that in the absence of oxygen, this glucose is, that is a first product, the glucose is converted into pyruvate, that it breaks down into ethanol, C2H5OH plus CO2, right. Do you remember? Plus energy. Do you remember this? Yes. So this is nothing but your fermentation process, that this yeast break down the food particles into ethanol, and CO2 is produced in the process. That process is called actually a fermentation process, okay. So the CO2 produced will be enter the bent tube, and it passes over the lime water, okay. You know that in the last the previous one we have studied, right. When CO2 is passed into the lime water, it turns the lime water into milky. Why it turns into milky? Because this CO2, this, what is it, CaOH twice, this lime water, when reacts with CO2, it gives calcium carbonate, which is a white precipitate plus H2, calcium carbonate, right. So that's why it turns milky, okay, because of the formation of calcium carbonate. Okay, so what is your observation from this? Air taken out through the tube, that is bent tube, makes lime water milky. This is your observation, right? Okay, so what is your conclusion from this experiment? When yeast is acted upon this fruit juice or sugar solution or any carbohydrate thing, right, carbohydrate rich thing, it form ethanol, that is your alcohol plus carbon dioxide plus energy is produced, right? So you have to I have given as a point by point, I have given as a given the conclusion as a point by point. You can write it continuously. Okay, yeast is a single cell organism. They respire anaerobically. It lives on the organic food like sugar solution or sugar flour like this, etc. That is rich in carbohydrates. Okay, glucose. Okay, it breaks down the food materials and releases CO2. Okay, through a process called fermentation. Okay, it breaks down the food particles and releases carbon dioxide. During this fermentation process, it yields alcohol also. Okay, here it produces ethanol, right? The CO2 when passed through the lime water, it turns milky. So we have proved that what is the gas produced from that fermentation process? That is CO2. How will you confirm that? When this CO2 is passed over this lime water, it turns milky. From this we can conclude that CO2 is produced from the fermentation process. Okay, clear on this? I hope you understand. So here the aim of this activity is to show that yeast ferment the carbohydrate and produce CO2. How will you check whether it is produced the CO2? When this CO2 is passed over this lime water, it turns milky because of the formation of calcium carbonate. Okay, this is your activity 6.5. Okay, next activity 6.6. It's very easy. Here in this activity we are going to show that what is the reason behind the difference in breathing rate of fish and human. Okay, we have learned in that respiration part that fish and humans does not respire at the same rate. Okay, per minute humans will respire that means breathe out and breathe in at the rate of 12 to 20 times per minute. But in case of fish, it respires about approximately it takes more than 60 times. We have studied, right? More than 60 times. Okay, and what is the reason behind that? Because the atmospheric air contains 21% oxygen, whereas in the dissolved, because fish is in living in the water, right? This oxygen present in the water is very less. Okay, so to meet the demand oxygen requirement, it breathes fast. It at the rate of 90 to 100 times per minute. This is approximate. It varies between various fishes, and it is only approximate value. Okay, it is not exact value. Okay, so this is what we are going to see how it breathes. Okay, what is the breathing rate of the fish when compared to human? Okay, respiration in fish. How this respiration in fish takes place? The fish opens and closes its mouth and gill more frequently. Faster it will do all this thing. When it opens the mouth, water enters. Okay, at that time when it open, this is your fish. Take this as your fish. Behind the eyes you will have some gills. Okay, right? When this mouth is closed, this slit will be open and it will pushes the water out. When the mouth is open, the gills will be closed. Okay, when the gills will be closed. Okay, when the mouth open, the gills will be closed. That means the operculum, the gills are covered by the operculum. The operculum will be closed, and when the mouth is closed, operculum will be open. Okay, alternately, when the mouth opens, the operculum will be closed, and the mouth closed, operculum will be open, and it will push the water out. Meanwhile, it passes through the gills, right? It is full of blood capillaries which absorb the oxygen dissolved in the water, right? So this is how the respiration is taking place in the fish. Okay. So what is your observation means? The rate of breathing in fish is much faster than the human being. It will open and close, open and close, open and close, open and close frequently like this. It will not keep like this. Always do like this. Open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. So per minute it will do the, how many times it will take and how many times it will do? 90 to 100 times approximately. It is the average value. Okay. So what is your conclusion? Fish has a higher respiratory rate. Higher respiratory or breathing rate is 90 to 100 times a minute approximately. Okay. When compared to the human beings, 12 to 20 times a minute. Okay. Why? Because human beings respire from the atmosphere. They air from the atmosphere. It contains 21% of oxygen, right? So this is also a less denser medium, so you can easily get the oxygen, but when compared to the water medium. Okay. And also the oxygen present in the water is very less, because it will not combine with the water. Oxygen will not combine with the water in compared to the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is easily combined with the water. Okay. But oxygen is not like that. Okay. So only less water oxygen is present in the water. So to meet the demand of this oxygen, fish breathe fast, breathe at the faster rate. Okay. Clear? So this activity 6.6 shows that why the fish breathe faster means to meet its oxygen demand, it breathe fast. Okay. When compared to human beings. Okay. Clear? Thank you.